make our staple food with me. I woke up craving our staple food, so I decided to make it from scratch. Anyways, that's a joke. But if most of you know, I've shared with you guys a lot in my videos about our staple food. So today we are going to be making corn kal. Okay, so our staple food is corn, but we have two categories. We have corn kal, okay, this is millet, and then we have corn bell. Bell is sorghum, so it's millet season, so we are going to be using millet, and when it's sorghum season we use sorghum. So I'm going to be making corn kal. So corn kal is a mixture of dried cassava, tapioca, dried tapioca with a mixture of dried millet, sun-dried. And then corn meal is a mixture of sun-dried cassava and then sun-dried sorghum. So the first step is getting the dry millet fingers. Oh, I love my English. So the first step is getting dry millet fingers from the granary. So what happens is we harvest the millet, and once the millet is done harvesting, we store it in the granaries so that they serve us for a very long time, so that they serve us both during the dry and the wet season. So after you put your dry millet fingers in the mortar and pestle, you're gonna pound it so that the seeds are separated from the husks and the millet finger stalks. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing now. And someone asked me in a video where I shared about going to the granary and making our corn bell, why do you pound it if you're going to still go to the grinding mill? Okay, so the thing is, even as these are, it still has so many husks. Even when we roast the millet, it still has husks. So to remove the final husks, you need to do it after roasting the millet or the sorghum. So that is why we pound the millet or the sorghum. Yeah, so this is the first step towards making our staple food. Opinge werang madopadola werie. Mangon. So after you've pounded the millet to the best of your ability, you see if all the seeds are out of the millet finger. And then you transfer the millet in the winnower. A winnower is a very special part of our livelihood here. We cannot live without it. So after you transfer the millet over here, you're gonna start winnowing and remove the top millet fingers and dispose it away. Sometimes we just put it in the 3 firestone that we used to cook because they light the fire very well. And then after this, we are going to pour it under the wind so that the wind clears away the most of the shaft before we start to winnow. Make sure your back faces the direction where the wind is coming from, so that when the wind blows, it blows away the husks. So you can see the wind separated the shaft from the millet, a whole deal. So this other remaining one, we are going to just winnow it. So the next thing is cleaning up the cassava. This cassava is already dry, sun-dried. So it's just like the millet, it was sun-dried and kept in storage. But you know, if you keep it in storage, sometimes it gets a bit cold. And so before you take it to the grinding mill, you need to sun-dry it a little bit so that the moisture and the cold is heated by the sun, and then you can mix it with the millet. We are going to mix the cassava with the roasted millet, and then we'll go to the granary. So now I'll go roast the millet with the you. Have to do this non-stop, because if you don't, the millet is gonna burn in the middle. This millet right here needs to be roasted. So the difference between millet porridge and millet bread is that millet porridge, we don't roast the millet, but millet bread, we do roast the millet. So the millet also starts to pop when it's ready. After we've roasted, you do this so that air passes through every single grain of the millet. So it's going to aerate for a few minutes, let's say 15 minutes. And once it's no longer as hot, first we'll mix it with the cassava that I already put in the bag, and then go to the grinding mill. So the millet has been fully aerated, and it's now time to mix it with a dry cassava. So literally the concoction of sun-dried cassava and millet is corn kal. So this is ready to be taken to the grinding mill. Going to the grinding mill. Sometimes we carry this load on the head, but also sometimes we just put it on a bicycle or on a wheelbarrow. So today I'm going to take it with a bicycle so that I'm faster and I come back faster, since it's what we are going to be having for lunch. Come with me. Mapecho. Hey. I'm almost reaching the grinding mill, and if you see around me, we are farmers, and right now we are having its corn season and then cassava season. For cassava, it's all year long. That's why I still even have some that I'm going to grind. Okay, so before we used to move long distances to go to the grinding mills. 10 years ago, oh my God, I would walk long distances, but now the grinding mills are very close by, which makes it really interesting. Hello again. See you again. Here we go, guys. I've arrived at the grinding mill. Hello again. So first thing is to weigh, because then you know what to pay. So we have, let me see, it's 20.5 kilograms. 21.5 kilograms is around. Amin, balance. Don't get ready. Yeah. Afoya. Kale, alake lori. Afoya. Finally home from the grinding mill. So this flour will take us for a very long time. Reason being, most kids are still at school and it's just 5 of us at home. So we have food for a really long time. Oh. It's one food that will always be in stock. We gotta mix it. The reason why we mix it, to make sure the millet mix well with the cassava. Because at the granary, what happens is when they pour the mix in there, the millet gets grinded fast, meaning it's the first that arrives the bag, and then the cassava comes in later. So if you want to get a proper corn kal mix, you need to do this mix so that you have a really nice, colorful corn kal. So after this, I'm going to go with you guys and make the corn kal. I can't take you all through this process and not make corn kal with you guys. So I'm gonna do that. See you guys in the kitchen. It's time to make the longer awaited staple food. So it's very important to start making it when the water is at boiling point. And you furthermore confirm the water is at boiling point by putting just a little bit of flour over the water. So when the water gets through, it's really ready to mingle. Let's do it. So you need to put a little bit of flour and then build on as you go forward. Don't pour all the flour in at once because you may end up making it so strong. So you need to respectively add the flour so that you can be able to reach a consistency that is perfect. The fire down also has to be good enough, yeah? Not so much and not so little. Otherwise, you'll end up having what we call corn andu. So corn andu is this millet bread that is not well done. It's raw, it's not ready. How do you know that millet is not ready? Is once you're done with the mingling and you pour it here and it starts breaking into particles. Oh my god, that was my greatest fear growing up, because I was always afraid, oh my god, hope I don't make one andu. And sometimes the stone does shift and you need to just support it with your leg. And the reason why it shifts is because of the weight over it. The more the weight while mingling, the more it ends up shifting. So you just do a little leg support and you're good to go. Joy, so hardworking. Joy, wife material. Joy, this and this. Maybe the question should be, Joy, how did you learn to do that? How did I get here? And it's very simple. Sometimes when people say you're so hardworking, then the whole village is hardworking. Starting from my baby sister who is 12 and even younger girls and boys in the village who can do the daily chores in this village or this village lifestyle. So for me and most of the children in the village, we learn doing chores from our parents as they do the chores. You kind of subconsciously or unconsciously learn how to do some things while your parents are doing it. So when our parents are doing this, you kind of ask them, like, can I also make? Can I also try? And then you try according to your age, what your age can accommodate. For example, when we are younger, this is about 7 cups of water, okay? But then when you're young, you can start with 1 cup of water. You become curious. It's like you're in school and you feel like, oh my God, if I learn how to make our staple food, I'll be such a happy child. And right now, I could make 20 cups of water. I could make food that is enough for all of you right now. Should I? So that's how we learn to do our chores. It's nothing about being so hardworking. No, it's just being skilled and learning to do the things you learn to do from a young age. So we are done. Oh, this chair is making so much noise. Sorry about that. We are almost done. So this food of ours, you can eat it with literally anything. You can make stewed vegetables, you can use meat, chicken, any kind of sauce goes perfect with this staple food of ours. You could use sukuma wiki, kale, you can use cabbage, you can use pasted nuts, fish. It's multi-purpose. You can eat along with anything. We're ready. Be careful of that steam. That steam is hot. Ta-da-da! And immediately pour some water into this pan. Okay, so that by the time you're done eating, it's easy to clean. I love this, by the way, more than the real quantity.